Good morning. Very small group for now. Good morning, Alexandra. We will wait a few more seconds for the so-called formal meditation to start. Hello, Diana. Good morning. But the interesting thing is that this waiting that we will do now is really not very different from the meditation itself that we're going to do. Morning, Christina. So we do a formal meditation in this time. We will do a formal meditation. But the formal meditation in many ways resembles very, very closely to our, it should resemble very, very close to the way that we can experience our everyday life. So the formal meditation is more intense and more focused, for sure. But underneath this formality, underneath this focus, underneath this concentration, the idea behind the meditation is not different from the idea that we can experience in our everyday life. So what I'm trying to say is that the formal meditation and our everyday life are not so completely separated, are not something two separate things that never come together. They're actually much closer to each other than what it may seem in the moment that we are doing them. So we just for a few more seconds, just simply, we are now together in this moment, somehow not going anywhere, just being here and now. And this, in many ways, is what the meditation is going to be. I'm going to guide you a little bit into some ways to think, or ways to see our experience, ways to interpret our experience. But the most important thing about the meditation is going to be that there is nowhere to go. There is no place to reach. There is no ending. There is no final line that one crosses at a particular moment. That's what I find very important about these meditations. There is really not an ending. It's like if you have a race, you go around, and at a certain point there is a line that when you cross that line, you finish. That's not how this meditation is. There is not really a place to reach. There is not really a place to cross to the other side where you suddenly arrived. It's not like that. It's actually quite the opposite. Is this moment continues, non-stopping. There is a non. There is not a moment that it stops. There is just keep going, keep being, keep. It's a keep going that doesn't move. So we can start the formal meditation, and for that, it's very important that we keep a kind of a nice position. It's okay to be sitting in a chair, for example. There is no problem at all. But sit in a way that your spine is straight, your chest is open, your shoulders are relaxed, your neck is long. So try to have that. That's very important. And then if you're sitting on the floor, then if you're accustomed to that, which most people are not, that's why it's very difficult to sit on the floor. Then just cross your legs in a position that is comfortable for you. And what is important, try to have a position, try to find a way to have your hands in a comfortable position. So the hands don't need to move around. I often say the way I do it is I put one hand on top of the other one and then I touch my thumbs, or I cross my fingers and I touch my thumbs. That's the way I do it. Some people like to have the hands on top of the knees with the palms up or down, or doing a mudra. But in any position that you find comfortable, try to stay there. Keep your spine long, open the chest, relax the shoulders, extend the neck. And now please close your eyes and try to keep your eyes closed throughout the whole meditation. Just keep your eyes closed throughout the whole meditation. And to start with, just simply notice the environment around you with your eyes closed. So you will use the sense of hearing to notice the environment around you. But just try to notice it. Don't try to comment on it. It's not supposed to be any different from what it is. For example, in my environment, I do hear a lot of noise. There is a lot of people doing many things. And I do have a thought that says, it would be nice if you were not so noisy. That's okay. You have a thought that, like in my case, it would be nice if it was not so noisy. Yes, it will be nice, but it is what it is. And right now, that's all there is. And so allow the environment to be as it is. Just simply notice the sounds. And of course, if you hear the sounds, maybe some images will come to your head. The images are a form of a thought that explain the sound. That's okay, but try not to get too lost on those thoughts in those images. Try to keep the sounds as pure as possible without an interpretation, although the interpretation will come on its own. It is our habit. But try to see that the sound is one thing, and the interpretation of that sound. The interpretation comes in the form of an image and thought. The interpretation of the sound is something different. There are two different things. On the one hand, there is the pure sound, and on the other hand, there is the interpretation of the sound. For example, I hear some noises, and the interpretation is somebody is hammering. Hammering is an interpretation, maybe correct, maybe incorrect, but it's something separate from the sound itself. Now, from the sounds, start to come into the body. And just simply notice your body. Just notice that there is a body, that you can be aware of your body. Just notice that if you don't pay attention to your body, you don't know that there is a body. The body is there, you know it, but in the moment, unless you pay attention to it, you don't know that the body is there. Now, because you pay attention to it, you know my body is here. So just notice. Again, because you pay attention to the body, you may have thoughts about your body like, I like it, I don't like it, it's comfortable, it's uncomfortable, it's good, it's bad. You may have many different variations of thoughts or images about your body. By trying to thoughts or images about your body are two different things. Just notice that there is nothing right or wrong about it. Just simply notice it. My outside world became very noisy now. It's not something that I planned. Just hear the sound. I suppose you hear the same sound I am hearing. Just be aware of it. It is what it is right now. It is happening right now. Just be aware of it. Come back to your body. Just notice the body. Now start to notice your breathing. Just notice the air coming in and the air going out. Just simply notice the air. You don't have to change the way you breathe. Just simply be aware that breathing is happening. There is air coming in and it feels good. Maybe you never notice, but it feels very good to inhale. Inhaling is like feeling life itself. So it feels very good. Don't look for that, just maybe you notice it. And then exhale, just notice the exhalation. Just stay with the breathing. Maybe also you hear the sound. There is a lot of noise outside my street. So maybe you also hear that. Just be aware. Notice the sound, notice your body, and in particular, notice your breathing. Try to stay with your breathing. If you get lost on a thought or an image, don't worry for it. The moment you realize, just bring the attention back into the breathing. And try to focus on the breath. There is nowhere to go. That's what is wonderful about this meditation. That there is no something to get. So it's impossible to do the meditation right, or it's impossible to do it wrong. That's what makes this meditation so available, so wonderful. There is nowhere to go. What makes it difficult is that we like to get somewhere. And so because there is nowhere to go, then it's common to feel a bit frustrated because you feel that, okay, but what do I do? If you need to do something, then the doing will be pay attention to your breathing for now. But the most important is try to feel in yourself right now the sense that there is nowhere to go. That this moment is full in itself. This moment doesn't need me to go anywhere. And so even this big noise, which just stopped the moment I said this big noise, but even that big noise that was there or that it stopped, from the point of view of the meditation, it doesn't matter. Because the moment is full on its own and it doesn't need neither the noise nor the stopping of the noise. It is true, because the noise stopped, it feels better. But the feeling better is not the most important thing. It is the sense that there is nowhere to go. That's what is more important. Just notice your breathing. The air coming in and the air going out. Now, I'm going to use some ideas for you to imagine. So these are not the truth about anything. These are just some tools that I will use for you to have an experience. I want you to imagine that you are like the sky. Just picture the sky in your mind, the, the blue sky, the blue, immense, everywhere, open sky. Just imagine that you are that sky, just for a moment. So you can say to yourself, I am this sky. I am the sky. Now start to see the breathing. You notice the breathing. You are the sky. You notice the breathing. And the breathing is just like wind that see the wind. Notice the wind passing by. So just see the breathing as wind. And you are the sky. You're just untouched by the breathing, by the wind. It may be a strong wind, it may be a very soft wind, but it doesn't really affect you in any way. But you are aware of it. You as the sky can see, can feel, can experience the wind, but it doesn't affect you in any way. It doesn't change you in any way. It doesn't make you more or less in any way. You as the sky. The wind comes, the wind goes. Just try to see it in your imagination. It's nothing but imagination. Try to see it in your imagination that you are the sky and the breathing is something like wind. And now see your body as the planet Earth. You are the sky, and the planet Earth is there, and you see the planet. You can be aware of the planet Earth. But there are many other planets. There are infinite number of planets. You're aware of all this. You're aware of the planet Earth, which is your body, which is this body that you are aware of right now. But also you know that there are many, many other planets. And you can be aware of all those planets too. You are the sky. Just in your imagination. Just see your breathing as the wind and see the body that you're aware now as the planet Earth. It's just in your imagination. There is no truth in it. It's just your imagination. It's like playing a game. Just simply play with me. Notice your breathing. The breathing is like the wind. Notice the body. The body is like the planet Earth. And you are the sky, aware of the wind, aware of the planet Earth. And when you see a thought, when you notice a thought, any thought, a thought is like a cloud. A thought comes, and you are the sky, you see the cloud comes, and then for sure, this cloud is going to go. At some point, it's going to go. Some clouds may stay longer. Some clouds may pass quickly. But when you see any thought, just see it as a cloud. If you see more like a positive, pleasant thought, it's more like a very misty cloud, more like a thin cloud, more like a spring, summer cloud. If you have a more negative thought, a more depressive thought, a more violent thought, then it's more like a storm cloud, like a black cloud, like a cloud that is full of blackness. But either way, you see it as a cloud. Usually the dark clouds stay longer, usually, and they seem to cover the sky. Many times they seem to cover the whole of the sky. But if you are the sky, you know that it doesn't affect you at all. As the sky, the cloud is there, a very misty and soft cloud, or a very dark and threatening cloud. Just observe your thoughts as clouds. See your body as the planet. Hear the sounds as another cloud. Maybe the sound now is like a storm. Try to connect yourself as the sky. Try to see yourself as the sky in your imagination. You are the sky, and this sound, this storm, just appear in this moment. You as the sky don't know if the sound is going to, if the cloud is going to stay for very long, or if it's going to pass very quickly. You don't know. You don't know. You are only aware of the cloud. You're just aware of it. That's all. You are the sky. Try to find yourself as the sky. The sky is simply aware. The sky doesn't do anything. It doesn't need to do anything. It's just aware. It's aware of the wind. It's aware of the planet Earth, but it's also aware of all the other planets, of the infinite amount of planets. It's simply aware. And it's simply aware of the clouds. It's aware of the storm. The clouds come. They may stay for a short while, they may stay for a long time, but then the clouds will pass. And I, as the sky, will stay, will remain. And most important, try to see it as the sky. I'm not touched by the clouds. I'm not affected by the clouds. I'm not modified by the clouds. Just play this game with me. But see also in your experience right now, as the awareness, you're not affected by anything that you can see. If something gets affected, for example, if the noise starts to affect you, see that you can be aware of the affected part. What is aware is the sky. What is affected is a cloud. For example, I imagine that you hear the sound that I am hearing now. This sound creates some kind of irritation. Now, the irritation is nothing but a cloud. The irritation was not here before, then the irritation appeared. You can be aware of the irritation, and for sure, there is no doubt about it. The irritation, at a certain point, is going to go. Right now, the sound stopped. There was one cloud. And the irritation that was with the sound also just went. And I, as the sky, remained. Just try to see that in your own experience. Notice your breathing as the wind. Notice the body as the planet Earth. Find yourself as the sky. Aware of the wind, aware of the planet, aware of the clouds coming and going. And as the sky, you have no place to go. You have no place to go. You're just aware. You're only aware. And just very slowly start to bring your attention back into the breathing. Take a couple of deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And then very slowly notice your body. Connect to your body. Start to move your shoulders. Start to move your hands. Start to move your arms. Stretch the arms. Stretch a bit your body. If you need to extend your legs, extend your legs. And at your own time, when you want to, please open your eyes. That was the meditation. We have some time. If you have some comments or questions or anything that you would like to write, you can do it there in the live chat. I can stay here for a while. If there is no comments or question, it's not a problem at all. We stay here for a few moments and then we can just end the meditation. There is no hurry. Thank you, Sibyl. This awareness is always there. It's not an awareness that we had during the meditation. The awareness is always there, and the awareness is always unaffected by anything that happens. Yes, so you had the same situation that I had, Alexandra. There was that somebody was repairing a car, and I don't know how much you saw, how much you heard of the sound, but it was very, very strong sound. The thing, Alexandra, is that there is a part that does get affected. It's not that the idea is not to get affected. There is a part that gets irritated. That's nature. That's no problem. But there is a part also that is aware of the irritation, and that's the part that is not affected. So it's not that there is no irritation. The irritation is there, and we don't want to get rid of the irritation. It's just that there is another part which is aware of the irritation, which is not affected. And what is interesting is that the part that is aware, it happens to be me. That's something that has to be discovered. The irritation, it appears and it goes, but me, what I am, I stay. That is to understand this, to discover this, is a very wonderful discovery. It's a very profound discovery. You can just one can just take it as a relaxation and something that feels good. That's okay. But one can also take it more than that. If one understands it. It is wonderful. And it is wonderful because it is an imagination that is based on, there is a truth in there. But you have to discover what the truth is. This awareness is truly like the sky. But it's also more than that. Nice to be in Constanza, Alexandra. I was at the seaside on the weekend, and it was really wonderful. Okay, so if there are not more comments or questions, then tonight I will have an event. I call it an evening with presence, in which I try to bring a stay with the book. The conversation can go in many different directions, depends on what people are interested in. You're very welcome to come. The event is in Zoom, so it feels a bit more connected than just in this case that is just a screen. So you're very welcome to come if you want to. It's tonight at 7. If there is no more comments, then I will, yes, Raluca, I will try to keep them. I think they're very good. I mean, there are a group of us that are connected. Not so many people are obviously interested in it, but even if this small group is interested, I will try to keep them as much as I can. Thank you to all, and see some of you tonight or see some of you tomorrow. There will be the class in Verde Arena. I will again try to do it through Facebook. It still doesn't work, but I will keep insisting. Maybe we will make it work. So see you either at the Verde Arena tomorrow or on Facebook if it works. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. And if you want to give it a like, it's nice to see the likes. Ciao. Arigato.